first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Out by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, June 29th. It is almost 4th of July. Almost like I don't think it's technically the halfway point in the year. I guess it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it'd be the...
It's crazy. Yeah. We're halfway through.
Mm-hmm. It's almost, and I know this, I don't know how summer lines up, but it feels like summer is almost all like halfway over too. At the end of June, at least it feels like it.
I think, are you talking school calendar?
Yeah.
Don't they start like mid-August? Are they early August?
It's early August.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, then it is.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, not excited. It's also the hottest.
Hot. It's so hot.
But maybe because I mean, this is a heat wave. So before we just get to like late July, August, when it's always hot as crap, maybe at least it'll cool off for a few weeks. That's what I'm looking forward to in the next few days.
Hopefully. Well, you hope Tennessee recruiting doesn't cool off. You hope that heat wave kind of continues on the way that it has.
Sure. I mean, I also just want to get to football season. I'm not like pumped up. I don't view this as like we're going to make a national championship run kind of year. But I also just kind of want to get it started. Like, I'm sick of waiting.
Yeah, it's almost like I was talking to somebody at the wedding we were at last night about, and it's like a weird feeling of, do I think we're going to be great? Probably not. But also kind of the question marks around the team, like there is that sort of like, we could be pretty good. Like a lot of people are predicting us to go 9-3 or 8-4. And I think 8-4 is probably where I'm leaning toward, but 9-3 with what you have and kind of the cards you were dealt at quarterback, I think you take that all day long.
I think I said this last night. I think your ceiling's 9-3.
Yeah.
And I will say
what's your floor?
Ooh. I think it could get ugly.
Really? Okay. I mean,
losing SEC player of the year running back, huge. Don't exactly know what you're going to look like at corner right now. And a lot of it just depends on the health of McCoy as the season starts. Quarterback is such a big question mark right now. I'm not willing to say it goes one way or the other. And I know a lot of people want to, hate on Nico. I just think it's probably the best quarterback play we would have had since Hendon Hooker this year. I think he makes a big jump in year 2 at Tennessee. I think it's a huge factor being the starter in a system for 2 years. In your second year as a starter. So I think that's a lot of losses. I don't know what that wide receiver. I think the wide receiver room does get better, but I don't know what that looks like. Losing Cooper Mays, offensive line is huge. I do think your offensive line can be solid. Like, I don't have worries there necessarily, but you lose a lot. Like, you do lose some big pieces there. Defensive line's another one that I'm hopeful for, but you lost a lot too. So I don't know kind of how that looks. I think you get better linebacker. There's so many just factors that you lose that you don't know how those voids are going to be filled. There's also places that I think you get better. And I will say this: I say ceiling at 9-3. That includes a loss at Florida in the Swamp, where Tennessee cannot win. I also think if we put it out on paper, they probably still have a good chance this year. But you gotta win in the Swamp before I'm like, yeah, they'll go win in the Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe I can be talking to 10-2 at some point. Oh, I can't be until they win at Florida. They would have to win at Florida for me to be talking to 10-2.
What if they beat Georgia? Can you be talked in then?
No.
If they beat Georgia, you don't think that jumps you up to 9-3?
Oh, well, sorry. I guess I could be at that point because I am considering that a loss, but you still lose it at Florida. So,
okay.
Would you be happy with 10-2 and a loss at this Florida team?
I mean, I'm kind of expecting it, so I would take a win over Georgia. If we can't beat anybody, I guess a win over Georgia, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's fair. It would be one of those that Tennessee fans are once again sad about 10-2 because you lost to Florida. So,
yeah. I don't know. Like, there's so much that we just don't know. Like, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but you just don't know until Tennessee plays that first game and Atlanta. And even then, I don't know if if you can really tell how this season is going to go. Obviously, like injuries and stuff like that, but I don't know if one game, like if Tennessee, let's say, wins that by 7 points, are we still sitting here and be like, yeah, Joey Aguilar is pretty good? I mean, he hasn't played a single SEC game. So, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot to. I do think Tennessee will get better as the season goes on. Like, I think there's hope in that with just as many young guys that will be thrown in there at running back, and obviously, like we'll see what happens at quarterback. It's gonna be a new person. It might not be like a young player, but I do think Tennessee gets better, especially offensively, as the season goes on. I mean, the tough schedule is usually like it's in the middle and at the front. So,
yeah.
I mean, Tennessee should get more wins down at the bottom. When's Florida? Is that November?
It's the second to last week of the season. Yeah.
Okay. Isn't Tennessee pretty good against Florida in November?
December.
Oh, well, late in the year. Later in the year.
I mean, to your point, of them getting better, and I think this is a team that will probably finish better than they ended it, or than they started it. They'll end better than they started it. I think it'll be a lot like last year, where, yeah, if let's say you go in and beat Syracuse, I don't necessarily think Tennessee fans that'll help them feel more hopeful. And then you'll probably go, well, PTSU, and then you have Georgia, and you play UAB, then you play Mississippi. Like, it's just like, I don't think you're ever going to get a good read on this team this season. I think it's going to be another weird year. And then I also think, going back to the quarterback situation, I said this when the Nico situation unfolded, that can either be really, really great for a locker room, or it'll fold it in half when the tough times happen. So that I'm interested to see how they respond when Joey Aguilar doesn't play great, or however that.
And is this
situation
his, like,
unfolds.
for sure last year?
I think so, right? Didn't we figure that out? It was his.
Okay.
I think so.
Because then, are we in the same position next year too? I mean, you're talking about your second year in the system. We could be looking at the same exact thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, I don't know. I guess it doesn't have any effect on this quarterback competition, but you think like could playing Merklinger this year or George McIntyre be better for the future of the program?
Potentially. And we talked about this too. I think as Aguilar came in, and I don't know where it would stand if fall camp started today, I have to imagine Merklinger has the leg up on the competition because of that factor of knowing the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I guess it also depends if they are, let's say they're just even, like dead heat. I think you go with Merklinger. Personally. Now, they're not going to be dead even, so
Yeah.
which ones pros give you more and which ones cons help you not lose games?
If I'm putting money on it, it's probably Joey Aguilar. I just think that's how it ends up working out, but it would be cool to see one of those guys just win it and take it and run with it. Kind of like Hendon did. I mean, I know he didn't win the job, but like when he did play after Joe got hurt, he didn't do anything to lose it. So I want somebody to just come in and win it and never look back. There's no there's no halfway through the week of a game week and be like open competition. I don't want any of that. I want to know who the guy is.
I don't think you'll know who the starter is until Syracuse on, is that 30th? August 30th? Yeah.
Are we going to have another
I don't think it'll
Georgia Tech?
Oh God. If the situation gets handled that way, I think we just
wrap it up.
Yeah, just wrap it up. I don't even necessarily think it'll be an or in the. I don't know. Josh Heupel does like ors. Maybe it will be an or until Saturday. But I think I guess I should say it'll probably be announced that week. I would be shocked if you just have a starter in fall camp.
I was telling our friend Brody this last night. I was like, I feel like last year we kind of babied Nico a little bit. Like it just felt like there was so much of, until the Ohio State game, of get down if the play's broken or like don't get hurt. Like I feel like everybody just like freaked out anytime he got tackled.
Well, let's look at what we know now about Nico. Is that coaching decisions or is that business decisions?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like somebody was babying Nico, whether that was himself or the staff or his parents, whoever. This year, I don't think you do that. I think you let it rip. Let's just the guys play ball. If they get hurt, we are in a tough quarterback spot anyway. So please don't get hurt. But I don't think you
don't give up the chance to make plays.
Yeah.
But also don't lower your head to make plays. Like just be a quarterback. Just be smart. Just be a football player.
Be a dog. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that's like. I got frustrated a lot with how we ran Nico last year, but looking back, I don't know whose decision that was based on the knowledge I have now.
I mean,
probably a little bit of both. Honestly, probably a little bit of both.
This isn't Merklinger's fault, but it did feel like, well, I guess you had Gaston more, but it felt like there was no faith in either one of those two. If you ran Nico the way that you did, there was no faith either one of them.
Well, we say that, and then they just let Gas Pipe unleash it in the Alabama game at the worst possible time.
We did win Mississippi State though, so that was good. We got it back.
Yeah, sure.
And we won that game, so he didn't come out with a loss. Like if you throw that pick and you lose, that would have been tough.
Brutal.
Yeah.
No, it didn't feel like there was faith in the backups, and I don't know how that stands.
Yeah,
they weren't the same quarterback that Nico was in a lot of ways. Yeah, I mean, I think you have a chance.
They're still here though, so that's
one.
Well, I guess Merklinger is. Was there ever like, hey, Gasson, you please come back? Do you think that was kind of like their thought? Maybe is he anywhere? Is he playing?
See, I thought I remembered him transferring, but that was a mistake. I think he just ran out of eligibility.
I thought he entered the portal.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if anything.
He's stuck in the portal. How do we get him out of the portal? Just
he entered the portal on December 26th.
I think a lot of people thought he would come back in a coaching capacity too at one point. Am I crazy? Okay.
No, that was right.
Didn't South Carolina have a grad assistant suit up for them a few years ago? Could we do that?
Huh?
Didn't South Carolina have a grad assistant suit up at quarterback for him a few years ago? Can we do that?
Did we lose that game?
I don't think we played them for that.
Okay. Oh, we lost to this 16-year-old Jake Bentley.
We did. Yeah.
just left prom, and
I think that was a Muschamp team, though. I believe.
Okay.
Right?
I remember that.
Luke Doty.
Luke Doty was not a grad assistant.
No, I think was that the 16-year-old?
No, it was Jake Bentley.
Okay.
Oh, that was a terrible game.
I can't remember. I feel like I think the grad assistant was Shane Beamer, and I think Jake Bentley was Muschamp, I believe. Because I think that was too late to be Spurrier. I could be wrong.
No, I think that would be too late to be Spurrier.
Spurrier.
Yeah,
yes, I think we bring
Gas
Pipe as a grad assistant, and he's an emergency QB like in the NHL. We have an emergency goalkeeper.
I think it would be a selling point. It's like, hey, man,
you could play. You might play.
You probably will play at some point, and you have a shot to win it.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know. Let's talk some recruiting.
Well,
that was good, though. That was kind of a good intro into the show of, hey, we have no clue what's going on. I don't think anybody else does. I don't even, Tennessee doesn't even know what they're getting.
No, absolutely not. So. That does remind me, we have the, and I'm blanking on his name now, the kicker that had to get pulled out of the frat house for a game.
Derek Brodus.
Derek Brodus. Did you hear Thomas Edwards on It's a Bussin' with the Boys podcast? He had a similar story. He had he had gone out the night before a game, to a formal or something, thinking he wouldn't play. And it was somebody that we went up big on, and he ended up playing the whole second half. He tells a story about him being very hungover, hadn't stretched since warm-ups.
Just throwing it.
And the starters played the first possession of the second half, and he ended up having to play the rest of the game.
God.
So, Gaston, you can do whatever you want on Friday nights, and you might play.
Who had been the backup for Dobbs?
When?
I was just thinking, who would have been the quarterback if the starters didn't play in the second half when Thomas Edwards was there?
Gosh, why can I not remember that?
Was it Dormandy?
He would have been there because was he not the same? Was he a year older than Garantano?
Yeah.
Was he? Because it would have been Garantano, Dobbs Sr. in 16.
No, Garantano redshirted in 16.
Okay.
In 17, it was JG and Dormandy.
Yeah.
So I guess in 2016, it would have been Dormandy, but I don't know who else throughout his career would have been the backup.
Well, 13 and 14, he didn't start until later on. At 13, he didn't start until Worley and Peterman were hurt. 14, I can't remember when he took over.
There we go. Zeb Nolan was the grad assistant in South Carolina. Thanks, Monty.
I'm
gonna look it up real quick. While he does that, I am going to mention our good friends over at VIP Play. Guys, go check them out. They're the top tier sports betting app. They have the FIFA Club World Cup going on. They have the Rocket Mortgage Classic, MLB obviously going on. Just great profit boost over there. So go check them out. Use promo code MORETN. Again, that's promo code MORETN. Bet just $5. You'll win $100 in bonus bets. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 and over to bet and located in the state of Tennessee. Again, go check them out. VIP play. Bet that $5. Get $100 in bonus bets with promo code MORETN.
So 15 was actually one name you're gonna love to hear, I think. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Sherrion Jones.
Oh, yeah. Hype man.
Yeah, it was also we saw him a little bit. It was also Quentin Dormady's freshman year. I don't know if we saw him in 15.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we know 16. So yeah.
Okay.
Sherrion Jones, a name I had forgotten.
What a name. What a pool. I love that. I love like bringing up, like we only know him as like he just like hype people up in the crowd.
We need to go through just rosters from that, like, I don't know, like 2015 on, like people we just completely forgot.
Oh, yeah.
On the team.
I mean, the closing of the show is from somebody that no one really knows or people have probably forgotten about.
I can't say I blame them.
Yeah. Quay. All right. Let's get into some recruiting real quick. Tennessee's been hot on the recruiting trail. They've had, I guess now it's been 3 days since that first commit, but they had 4 commits in 2 days. First one of those was 4-star edge Kedrick Golston. The second, he is the son of Georgia legacy player Kedrick Golston the first, obviously. 6'2", 220 out of Stonebridge High School in Ashburn, Virginia. And that's where his dad is the head coach. I think he used to be an assistant coach at Gonzaga, I think, up in the D.C. area. But now is the head coach at Stonebridge. And I think that's a good get. That's a good win over, obviously, like Georgia was involved there. They offered. He took that official visit. Obviously grew up a Georgia fan because his dad went there. But the guy that coached his dad at Georgia was Rodney Garner. So Tennessee was able to land him and use kind of that connection to get him to campus. And, you know, he took some visits to Rutgers, Virginia Tech, Georgia, and Tennessee was able to land him at that edge outside linebacker position. So really good get, kind of kick off like right after the official visit period. Then you kind of have the dead period going on where all the commits start happening before, you know, the high school football season ramps up. Second guy, you got Edward Baker. Huge. 6'4", 315. Absolute unit. Going to play offensive line, probably the interior offensive line. Plays at one of the best high school programs in the country is St. Francis up there in Baltimore. Just a big kid. He had offers from Ole Miss, NC State, Virginia, Maryland, and a bunch of others. So good to get a interior offensive lineman, a big guy that plays at a winning program, and land him in this class as well. And Monty mentioned if we keep these commits, this 26 class is looking great. And if you look at the rankings right now, I mean, first of all, I know it's hard for people to really dive into recruiting as much as they used to with the transfer portal. But you gotta, hey, that's a win. You gotta hope they stay and hope it works out. If not, you know, that's what the portal is for, to replace those guys. So, but Tennessee, I think, is 15th right now and on 3. But Tennessee only has 13 commits. I mean, USC is the number 1 right now. They have 30 already. How many of those 30 gonna finish at USC, you think?
It also won't matter once Lincoln Riley's fired or leaves. Like, it's going to be fired, but he'll leave. So,
yeah. It's like, hey, it's good to win those recruiting battles. Also, it doesn't hurt to come in second because there could be a second time around.
Right.
And then you landed 3-star in-state athlete from Greenville High School in Greenville, Tennessee, Zayden Anderson, 6'1", 170 pounds. Obviously, another winning program. In-state, a track guy. I think he ran a 10.700. I think he won the 200-meter as a sophomore in the state. I think he also won the long jump, did triple jump as well. So he's really good athlete. A speed guy. He probably is going to play corner if I had to guess. I think he plays both ways at Greenville. But yeah, really good athlete that Tennessee was able to keep in state. And anytime you can land those local kids, always a big deal.
I'd be shocked to find out at 3A school. It would be Greenville if it was happening at a 3A school, that if he didn't play both ways.
Yeah.
Or 4A. Sorry, he's 4A.
Yeah. And then you landed, I think none of those were super surprising. Golston was one that it was going to be a battle. But I think it was kind of 50-50 going into this next recruitment with Legend Bay. Just great name.
All-time name?
All-time name. Yeah, I'm just he should be he's a 4-star, but he should be a 4-star based off his name alone.
Can I go just hot take?
Yeah.
Doesn't have a wide receiver face.
What?
Yeah, you walk in the living room. I think it's Nick Saban that made it famous. You look at their ankles to see how athletic they are.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a wide receiver face.
Okay.
I don't know what face it is. I don't think it's a wide receiver face.
When he plays quarterback at his high school, I think he had like 3,000 all-purpose yards. I think he had 28 rushing touchdowns and 13 passing touchdowns. So just a good athlete in the state of Texas, 5'9", 170, and you landed him over in-state Texas A&M. I think that's – and Tennessee had – like Texas A&M had the last visit, and we know how that goes. Usually the last visit, that they usually get them, but they didn't get this kid. So Tennessee lands Legend Bay. I just want to hear like John Ward like call a play.
I like that it's
with that name.
B-E-Y too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like if it was B-A-Y, I think you kind of have to play defense. It's almost like a island.
He might anyways, just based on physical attributes, but yeah. Like the face. But I'm looking at the list right now, the 2026 list, like Tyree Key. That's a wide receiver face. I would even say
you're going to get weird people from like Facebook DMing these kids and be like, hey, don't worry about playing receiver. You ain't got the wide receiver face.
Right. Like Zay Anderson, I think you're right about him playing corner because he has a corner face. Like that's the face of a corner.
Do I have a wide receiver face? Or did I? More of a
more wide receiver than more wide receiver than anything else. Yeah.
That's funny.
Can we get this Universe Galaxy guy on? Have you read this comment yet?
I'm not going to be and you might get a lot of clicks after you in your live stream. Wait, why do we get a lot of clicks after our live stream?
I want to read it for those who aren't on YouTube. Hey, can I join your panel and explain why Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time? I'm not going to be boring, and you might get a lot of clicks after you in your live stream. I want to hear this guy out. He hooked me. He got me. I want to hear him out.
Ugh.
Send me a text at 865-6.
Yeah, Joey, can you call this guy and like we do We kind of like
Screen
see
him.
what it's about. Yeah, before we just
I think
let
we've
him-
screened him enough. I think he's got us. I think we got
I
to
don't
hear him
know.
out.
That's we've tried going blind with our Zoom meeting, our open Zoom meeting. I don't know if we do that again.
We're not going to open this up. We're just for the Universe Galaxy guy.
Okay.
Great name.
I think Monty should get in here one day.
Yeah, let him in. Open the door.
Open the door.
But sorry, Monty. First, the Universe Galaxy to hear why Michael Jordan fans are in fact the worst sports fans. I've never heard this take, and I am kind of interested. So, do that. Just give us like your bullet points. Like, let's hit that, and if we like them, we'll let you on.
How old is the Universe Galaxy, you think?
He's either going to be 12 or 67.
Well, he's not going to be boring, so
You
either
can do
way.
with those exciting bullet points, and we'll make it happen.
I'm in. Just looking at the class a little bit, is there anything that kind of sticks out to you and you're like, Tennessee needs to land this position?
No, because of the transfer portal and what will probably what we have and don't have right now will be very different in 2026. I will say, like, I would like to see Tennessee try to go find a talented running back, but there's also probably going to be more talented running back in the portal. But also, I would like to see them land that.
Yeah, you want to have a good mix. But yeah, Tennessee doesn't have a running back in the class, so they need to have one. Now, it looks like the only one on their board is Savion Hyder, and that's going to be a Tennessee-Michigan battle. But if they don't win that, like, I guess you do turn to the portal, but then again, like, Tennessee does have 3 backs. They have Deshaun Bishop, Peyton Lewis, and DeJuan Morris, who will be back next year too.
Yeah.
We just need all the 5 stars. We need Tristan Keys, Savion Hyder, Tristan Givens would be another one from Texas A&M, edge rusher. I would like to see us land a really talented cornerback. Now, again, that's kind of at the position where they transfer them and
Or demand more
rec-
money
Yeah.
just randomly.
Yeah, them and receivers, they tend to just like, portal. Any sign of adversity going in the portal. But yeah, I think Tennessee needs to do. I mean, they've done okay in recruiting, like Ricky Gibson. They got Jermod McCoy out of the transfer portal. Colton Hood's out of the portal. I would just like them to be a little bit better recruiting. Defensive back kind of as a whole out of high school.
Sure.
I think we've kind of lacked a little bit there.
Yeah.
I think besides Ricky Gibson, the only 4-star corner we have had, I think, is Jordan Matthews, and he was here for a year and left.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
So could be better.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other positions that you're like, any positions you like so far?
I'm excited for Mike Matthews.
Oh, I was talking about.
in the 2026 class. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought we were still on football. Oh yeah, get quarterback in here. Get a 5-star in here.
But he's on Brandon.
Yeah, like sign me up. Edge rusher, Ronnie Garner. Which that's interesting. I meant to say this. Has he coached at every SEC school? I knew he had coached at Georgia. He's been at Auburn.
I think that's it.
Is that
Auburn,
it?
Georgia, Tennessee.
I was gonna say I think
were the
he's
3.
wasn't he at I was thinking he had maybe been at LSU, but he hadn't.
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
it's been those 3.
I bet that dude has some stories. He's been around a while.
Yeah, and you would think like a guy like getting up there in age, you're like, so you don't get tired of like recruiting all the time because it's nonstop.
He must
But-
just be
Married to it.
gotta be.
I do like kind of what we've done in state so far. I think that's been good. And Tennessee should always recruit well in state, but getting the number 1 tackle in the state, getting the number 1 receiver in Tyreek King, top edge rusher in Zach Groves. They got a good tight end in Carson Sneed, which we'll see if we were able to hang on to him. Zayden Anderson, Luke Thompson. I think they've done well in state. Now, if they're able to add like a Joel Wyatt, that would be huge. Which, let's talk about this for a second. So apparently it's between Tennessee and Vanderbilt to land the top player in the state. Tennessee wants him to play edge. He wants to play like safety.
Okay.
And Vanderbilt's like, yeah, you can play safety. Why don't you just say, hey, you can play safety?
Yeah.
I don't
Just say
understand.
yes. Just lie like everyone else is lying.
Yeah.
If he's an edge, he's gonna be an edge rusher. Like that's just how it is.
Right. Yeah, and they think he'll grow in to like his frames. It's already there. But like if he wants to play safety and he's good at safety, he's probably one of the better safeties you're gonna have. So let him play safety.
Probably, but if he's being graded as an edge, everyone's gonna play him there. They're all lying to him. So just lie to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just join in with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably bad strategy, but I don't care.
We don't get paid the big bucks to make those decisions.
Right.
I also think Tennessee has done well at linebacker the past couple of years. You're able to land like a TJ White out of Mississippi. I think he commits soon. I think Tuesday. Braden Rouse is another guy that they are in on and looks to have some momentum there. So I think those 2 guys and Braylon Outlaw, like that's a really good class. And last year you had a really good class at linebacker. So I think William Inge has done a really good job since he's been here so far in recruiting.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Like that was a good hire. Really didn't know much about him, but it seems to have paid off so far.
Right.
All right. Guys, go check out Hovey Dry Goods. I'm sporting the hat tonight. Check them out. Use promo code MORE. Again, promo code MORE. Get 15% off that first purchase. They got some of our hats coming up here in the next week. So super excited about that. Super excited to release those. And if you want one, just DM us and we'll get it to you. So looking forward to getting those. And they're just great people over there. So go check them out. Again, use that promo code MORE for 15% off that first purchase.
Do it.
Do it. NBA draft. Tennessee, 5 straight seasons having a player drafted. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Kind of crazy how fast the NBA draft is, too. Like the season just ended.
Yeah. It's also crazy. Like, I mean, the MLB had like 30 rounds a couple years ago, and now it's down to 10. But since 1989, I think the NBA's just had 2 rounds. It's just crazy from sport to sport how different that is. But I guess there's no like feeder league or anything. You're just kind of like thrown right into it, or you're in the G. The G League wasn't a thing for a while, so just go play overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Awesome to see Chaz Lanier get drafted in the second round by the Pistons. And they're a growing team. Like Cade Cunningham, and they got some dudes on their team. I think they could use a shooter. And Chaz Lanier is kind of that high volume shooter that will make space and score the basketball. That's what he's there to do. And I think he's really come in his own since he got to Tennessee. Like you were hoping he was going to be that Dalton Connect just because Dalton Connect was the way he was and came from a small school, but I don't think like that's the reality when guys come from small schools that they're able to just be the SEC newcomer of the year. Like that shouldn't happen. But Tennessee's making it look like it's going to be a pattern, getting these guys here and producing them. So, good landing spot, I think, for him. They had I don't know if you saw this, Malik Beasley, who is one of their guards. He's like being investigated. He's like the center of the investigation for gambling.
Okay.
So he averaged 16.3 points, was just kind of their shooting guard basically. And yeah, it looks like he's investigating Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley for a gambling investigation.
Okay. Hadn't seen this. Interesting.
So didn't read too much about it. I just saw that and thinking like maybe that opens another door for Chaz Lanier to be that high volume shooter that Detroit now needs because they're probably going to lose Malik Beasley.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean it happens. Some guys just need a opportunity, and one guy's loss is another man's gain. I was number 88 my freshman year of high school. A kid got kicked off the team, and I got number 10. So it can happen.
What number were you before?
88.
As a quarterback?
As a quarterback, yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Meshack. That's awesome.
To the Grizz.
I think he still has a ton of potential. I don't know if that potential lands him in the NBA. I got to imagine they love the athleticism, the defense, and they see his shot being able to grow. I think it's that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you average, like 6 points per game?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, they want him for defense. But it is crazy a guy that averaged about 6 points per game at Tennessee becomes Mr. Irrelevant. I thought there would be no shot he gets drafted.
No, I didn't see that happening. No.
But it is really cool for him to go to the Grizzlies. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Grizzlies fan or anything, but I do think it's cool to have him remain in the state of Tennessee, and hopefully he's able to make his way up at some point and be a little 3-and-D guy. And that's where Tony Allen, I mean, he made a ton of money being a defensive specialist for the Memphis Grizzlies. So maybe they see a little bit of that in Jemai Meshack, and yeah, Mr. Relevant. That's cool. I mean, it is kind of, you're like hoping you hear your name called, and he gets that final one. You're like, there's no way. And then it happens.
Right.
So good for him. It was the Alabama shot. That's when Grizzlies like, hey, if we get a chance, we got to.
Probably.
If we need somebody to heave it, we can't ruin Ja Morant's like percentage. Jemai Meshack, get in there and chuck this ball up.
And I mean, we know he's got that magic. So
yeah,
let it Let it fall. Let
Yep.
it be.
Also,
It'd be-
Tennessee's had 3 other guys sign with NBA summer teams. You had Zakai Ziegler also go to the Detroit Pistons. Jordan Gainey signed with the Suns, and then Igor Milicic signed with the 76ers. So getting that I mean, Jordan Gainey, he's going to be fun to watch in the G League. I don't know if he ever translate to the NBA, but this is a guy that you're like, Jordan Gainey averages 25 points per game in the G League, and I would not be shocked.
Right. It would be fun for those two. Maybe they end up on in the G League or finding themselves on NBA rosters, but we should also just play a game later in the summer of like what European country will they end up playing in.
Yeah. Also, it is kind of funny. Jamal Meshack got drafted. You know who didn't get drafted?
Who?
Mark Sears and Grant Nelson.
I don't think I guess Mark Sears' size probably is a big
that's
factor.
probably a big
Yeah.
thing. But Grant Nelson sucks to suck. Yeah. Hate it for him.
We'll touch of it.
Yeah.
While we're
Were
talking
you,
NBA, I want to hear this Michael Jordan guy, but he won't come back. We gave him a platform. I guess he's not as passionate as I thought he was.
He was just seeing like who all would say yes. Honestly, he's just trying to get people to talk about him. And what a way.
Yeah.
Just comment on random things so absurd that you're like, huh. What's this guy about? Yeah, good for Tennessee. I mean, I love seeing guys like come to Tennessee, like do well in professional sports. So it is cool to see more Tennessee players around the NBA. Because there was a time like before Grant, I mean, there was Tobias Harris.
Yep.
And that was pretty. There was Jordan McRae a little bit. Who was the other one? Josh Richardson for a little bit. But Tobias Harris was kind of a guy that played.
CJ Watson played some for the Bulls, I believe.
That's true. But yeah, like there was.
Then you got to go back quite a bit farther to get guys, or find guys.
And I think it's the I tweeted this out. Tennessee hadn't had 3 years in a row, more than 3 years in a row, having a draft pick since 1989 when it went to just 2 rounds. Tennessee did have a stint like in the 50s where they had 7 years in a row, but they also had like 10 rounds in the NBA. So, which maybe there was a lot less teams and they had to do it that way, but like this guy was the eighth round pick. I was like, that seems crazy. Somebody just sent me a video and it was like Dave Portnoy was just kicked out of another pizza place. And the reader added context says, this is not Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. If you're on that, tweet, go read it. There's like a bunch of bots replying, like making it seem like it's Dave Portnoy. It's very weird. I don't know if he got into it with Elon or something. It's very weird. Like, of course this is Dave Portnoy. The guy doesn't look anything like him.
Is likely Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not Dave Portnoy. And the guy behind the counter just absolutely throws a dart and hits this man right in the face with the pizza. I mean, start an argument and just getting hit with a whole piece of pepperoni pizza is crazy. It's funny. All right. Any questions? We got rolling here.
I haven't seen any questions. And Monty did mention need a couple 5-star wide receivers. Yeah, no, would love that.
Tristan Keys, baby, come on down.
Would love that.
Some people have asked me a little bit about like baseball recruiting, and not a ton of names right now. Tennessee is evaluating some infielders. A lot of guys in the Cape Cod, so not really visiting. So it could go on for a little bit. But let's just say we're not out of it for a starting pitcher. Thought we were, we're back. So just keep an eye out for that one. I did do something that we said we weren't going to do, but I did look at what the logistics would look like if we did do it.
Okay.
Go to Mississippi State.
Oh, I'm not going.
And this is all contingent on if we beat Syracuse.
I mean, I'm not going no matter what, but I'd like to hear your plan to go.
Okay. Well, there's nowhere to stay in Starkville, Mississippi, obviously. And so you do have to go through Tuscaloosa.
Okay. So this is not getting better, by the way. But
no, but it is kind of funny how it works out. But
so we're driving, by the way, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's only 6 hours. It's not that. It's not
absolutely not going.
It's not that bad. You go there, you come back an hour back to Tuscaloosa. Stay in Tuscaloosa. They play at Georgia that weekend. So it's like super cheap to stay in a actual city and not in Mississippi. And then we wake up and we only have 5 hours home. So I looked up the logistics, and I think that would probably be the best bet is to stay in Tuscaloosa, which is just an hour away.
That truly sounds awful. That sounds like one of the worst trips I probably would ever go on.
Which it could be the best.
No, probably not. It's a win at Mississippi State gets you like what? A half a point happier? Maybe.
Well, then we know it's not us.
I cannot be talked into that. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. You're invited. If you decide you want to go, maybe we get closer. We start talking ourselves into national championships, and you're back in.
Nah.
That's fine. I would like for you to go.
Appreciate the invite.
Okay. But also not buying tickets from the Tennessee website. Good God. Away tickets are like $150.
Yeah, sounds about right. If I was to go, I think we have to stay in West Point, Mississippi. That's where Brandon Walker is from.
Oh. I tried to look at anywhere close to that, and there's nothing. Absolutely nothing there.
Oh, even like Columbus, Mississippi?
No. I looked up like Airbnbs, and like a lot of places are just kind of out of the way. Columbus is on the way, but there's like no places really to stay. And if there's a place to stay, there's definitely nowhere to eat.
In Columbus?
Yeah.
There's got to be a Chili's in Columbus.
Oh. No, I need actual. There's like no like hangout spot. It's like at least like going back to Tuscaloosa, you're kind of in a college town. Like there's got to be like a sports bar. There's no sports bars in Columbus.
There's no way. There's no sports bars in Columbus, Mississippi.
I don't think so. None that I want to attend.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that you're cool with. I'll say it's kind of crazy you're cool with Tuscaloosa then.
There's just a lot. There's a lot of places to stay, and I don't know if it's because like everybody's gone for.
Brother, there's a Longhorn in Columbus. Good. That's a solid restaurant.
There's no places to stay. I don't know about eating. I didn't look at that yet. But If you're going to drive all the way to Columbus, you might as well drive 30 more minutes to Tuscaloosa, and you got a shorter drive home the next morning.
I don't know. It all sounds just an awful trip. Going to Mississippi, staying in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's not. That sounds awful.
So you're in. That's all needed here. All right. Any more questions?
No.
No. All right. You watching Love Island or not?
I'm not. Can't say I am.
Yeah. Missing out.
Probably.
Monty, let's just say Return of the Mac. How about that? This guy has a great first name.
What? Wait, what did I miss? I'm sorry.
This is about the baseball transfer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's got a great first name.
Okay.
All right. Guys, go check out rowback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off that first purchase. Got great stuff over there. Got the July 4th themed polos out right now. Got great pants, great shorts. Got some hats. So they're rocking it over there at Rowback. Go check them out again. Rowback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off that first purchase.
Do it.
Do it. Guys, thank y'all so much for listening. We'll be back Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to it. Thank y'all. Have a good week. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.